Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now a first down throw. Gone. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Jordan Evans. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw is gone. And right away he lost the football. And the Bengals have recovered it. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
They'll run here with Bernard, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't know if there's any other way to put it, but that play was blown up right from the snap. How about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? It's almost like they were in the offensive huddle.
Yeah, it's one thing to stand them up from that 1-yard line. Pushing them back to the 5, though. Wow.
Yeah, I like what you just said there. Not just stand them up, but end up making a play on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal.
Over here.
Here's Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Here's Goff. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Right, looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Abukum leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Defense offsides here. Freebie for Dalton. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Now the penalty, it helps a little, but they'll still have to navigate a 3rd and 9 now. Dalton here from the gun. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, it's gone. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Woods the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Back to the air. Goff on 2nd down. Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Try to get it to Woods.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well, swarming to
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Go, 368.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. And Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Though we've seen some good pressure defensively already here in the first quarter, here's another good example.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
5.
On 2nd and 10, gone. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off at the 23, and he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26.
14.
In search of redemption from the pick 6. Goff. He's going to look deep down the field. And got his man complete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Starting left here.
2nd and 10. Goff again. Steps away to his left. Oh, wide open. Complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. Goff finding Cooks on a big play. 59 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On first down, it's Gurley. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Robert Woods, former USC man, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
14.
Out of the gun. Goff. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Gerald Everett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams have got this back to a one-score game. Point game now as here comes the kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun, shedding through the defense. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Here you go, 368.
1st and 10 for Dalton. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Aaron Donald able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And Hill running right through it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Second down, Dalton. He completes it to Boyd. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Green. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. Play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take 1 guy, 2 guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
Carry for Bernard. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Bernard. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a 2nd guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. A line of scrimmage once again, the 5, as they get ready for 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. On the toss, Bernard. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick here is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 46. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they want to.
Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And the Rams have got it back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw on 2nd down is gone. Throw left side, complete to Cup. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A Ram first down as Goff finds Cup.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Now it's the backup Simeon. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Nickel Roby brings him down.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Again, here's Bernard. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Mark Barron. And he will score. Touchdown, LA.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. He drops it off for Bernard. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On 3rd down, Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And they'll have great field position here as the ball will be at the 15-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Goff. Now he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Goff hitting Woods for a Rams first. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Gerald Everett, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 5. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That could be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. They'll run again with Bernard. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Andy Dalton. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Passing, it's Dalton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now, the Bengals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7.
5-0, 5-0.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Gurley looking for a repeat of his 2017 performance. He's off to a good start as the Rams come up 1st and 10. Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And some space here. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll try the air now with Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to him on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I was used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher. And all night long, he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now, a huge 3rd down conversion. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. They'll give it to Mixon. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Here's a run with Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Now the extra point try forthcoming. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
Trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. Those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 36. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
And they'll run it here. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. and that'll push the lead up to 8. And from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards on the play. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And nothing but daylight ahead. And this defense has broken it open as they return it to the house for 6. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded at the 2. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. Room here to run. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again they run with Gurley. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Gurley. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first down carry for Davis. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Sean Williams that time in on the stop.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Here's Goff. Throw complete right side to Cooks. That one goes for 24 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first down, it's gone. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late Still a little time left on the clock, however. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
So now with little time remaining, they'll have this and maybe one more play. And this is going to be recovered by the Bengals hands team. And they're going to hang on and win this game. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in. So for the Bengals, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Rams, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis,